Welcome once again to the Brass Monkey Podcast, where as always we're shining a light on the incredible artists who are planning on bringing their sound to one of Australia's most iconic and legendary live music venues. Today we have a very special guest, the man himself, Don Rogers, rising star in roots rock, all country, soul, you name it. He's a surf and turf of music. He's got everything. He's been making waves. Talking about surf and turf, he's making waves with his raw, soulful sound, and he's back on home turf this month with the Son of a Gun tour, and he's set to hit the Brass Monkey stage Saturday, 22nd of February. So we've got plenty of time, guys. Get your tickets now. But before we get our tickets, let's talk to the man himself, Don Rogers. Welcome to the show.
Adam, good to be here with you, mate. It's it's a real honor. How you going?
Good. Thanks for your time today. I mean, you're a journeyman. You've only started this 2-3 years ago?
Yeah, not even 2 years ago. I think it's just gone 2 years. February 2nd was the first time I ever sang into a microphone.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, mate.
Anniversary.
Yeah, it's been a fun journey since, that's for sure.
How's that journey transitioned? Because I saw you did 100 gigs last year. And you've gone from you're a crane operator on the Gold Coast?
Yeah, I was a crane operator. I'm a safety advisor now these days. But it kind of just came about. I was actually working on a site in Broadbeach, and a few of the form workers on a Friday have a couple of lagers, and one of them noticed that I played guitar on my Facebook, and he said, "Mate, why don't you bring your guitar in on Friday?" And I did that, and then and their reaction just took me back. There were a couple of them were like, "Mate, what the heck are you doing here, driving a crane? Do something with your music." And so I literally went to that was Friday the 2nd of February 2023, and I went to my first open mic the very next day, February 3rd, which was a Saturday. And then I was nervous as heck, and I'd never really performed live before. I mean, I sang, at a couple of family events, but I didn't really see it as something to pursue, Adam, and then when I got more of that same, I guess, encouragement and support from people at the open mic, I thought, well, maybe there's something here. And I didn't plan any of it, mate. I went to open mics, and the open mics became gigs, and the gigs became festivals, and the festivals became The Voice, and wow, and now I'm excited to be coming back to the Brass Monkey with my band to play my hometown for the very first time, as a full show. It's going to be awesome.
Because I was having a look at some of your Facebook and some of your social. I mean, there are videos from 8 or 9 years ago of you playing guitar. Was it just a hobby then, or something you did for your family, or something you did for your own therapy or your own growth?
Yeah, it was just a love I've always had. I mean, I've always tinkered around with my guitar, I started playing, I guess, back in, around about in the mid '90s, and it was just something to do at home and around, around the barbecue, or having friends over. I'd play a couple of songs, but I never really, saw it as something to pursue until recently, it's kind of just all unfolding, and I'm very fortunate to have some really good people in my corner that helped me in the journey, that have got a lot more experience in the industry than I have. So I really value those guys and the people around me. I think it's all about teamwork.
Hey, returning down to the Brass Monkey, it must feel like a bit of a homecoming for you. I mean, you've got roots. We're going to get those roots in a minute, but you've got roots in the Shire and so on. But the homecoming, I mean, what makes it when you play? We saw you play there, jump up with Ruben a few months ago, just before Christmas.
Yeah.
And but what's it mean for you to come back to a place like the Monkey in your home ground, your home turf?
Oh, mate, it means everything. I mean, if you had said to me even just 3 years ago, in 3 years from now, you're going to be, planning a tour back to your hometown with a band to play music on the stage, I would have. It just blows my mind, Adam, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity. And the Brass Monkey is such a, like you mentioned earlier, it's such an iconic venue. It's such a beautiful space to play. The sound's unreal, and and we're really excited to be coming down on February 22nd, and we've worked on some new songs, and so I encourage everyone out there, grab your tickets and come along, because it's going to be a night to remember.
This is the Son of a Gun tour.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Where's the name from? What's the name mean?
Well, the son of a gun. My father was Steve Rogers. He still is. He's a Cronulla Sharks great man. My younger brother's Matt Rogers. So we've got a lifelong sort of affiliation to not only the Cronulla Sharks, but the Cronulla community, you know. So to come back there as our first interstate, performance as a band, it just blows my mind. And I'm so grateful for that opportunity to Jeff Trio and all the management at Brass Monkey. We're really looking forward to putting a great show on. So it's literally in my backyard. So all you shy people and Cronulla folk, grab your tickets and come join us.
Can I wear my Para jersey down? That's not allowed, mate. Or...
Sorry, mate?
Can I wear my Para jersey down? Or
no, yeah, mate, we don't mind. Football's tribalistic, mate. You can wear any jersey down, but it's going to be and we've got some special guests joining us on the night. We've got Rowan Cannon from the Choir Boys is going to be playing guitar for us. So he's one of the best guitarists in the country, and we've been sending him our song list, and he's been working away feverishly in Sydney, and then and the band around me, they're all sort of far more experienced than me with 20, 30, years experience. And I really, as I said earlier, I really value those guys, and I appreciate their help in this crazy journey that's unfolding,
The former kangaroo, your brother, doesn't share the musical tones?
Oh, he can strum a few chords on the guitar, but he hasn't got the, singing's not his forte, put it that way. But mate, he's definitely a big supporter of, and it's great, it's great to be able to perform for him and for others.
I was going through your socials, Don, and one thing I really got about you and who you are is family so much, not just with your brother and your dad and son, but your family so much. Is that an integral part, especially I would say the last 12 months with the voice and everything like that? Your family has really been that guiding path and that backbone?
Oh, 100%, Adam. I mean, I'm fortunate enough to have my beautiful wife, Kaya. She's so supportive to the journey, and there's a lot that goes on, in the musical pursuit that a lot of people don't see, you know what I mean? Like the whether it's me trying to learn a song and playing it, 100 times in a row at home. And whenever I learn the song, I always say, I'm sorry, darling, you're going to hear this, for the next week. And so I practice. But also, she supports, in the early days, I'd work all day, and then I'd be going to 3 or 4 open mics a week just to try and hone that stagecraft, just to try and learn from people that have been doing it longer than me. And she was so supportive. And even now, like last week, we just got back from the Tamworth Country Music Festival, which was great. We had a great time down there and made some really strong connections, and that we're looking forward to, walking those out in time. And there's some big things on the horizon too. We're in the studio at the moment. So, to have a supportive family that firstly buy into the vision, but secondly, really, I guess, like you said, they are the backbone. They support my little 8-year-old daughter, Stevie Ann, who we call Moisey. She's named after her grandfather, Steve Rogers Stevie. She gets up on stage and does some backing vocals on a couple of tracks, and she's learning violin. So who knows, a couple of years I might have a little 10-year-old fiddle player up there with me. Yeah.
Mate, and then we're talking about family. Then you just say you come from Tamworth. I mean, that whole country music is at its peak in Australia at the moment, around the world. Yeah. We've seen massive tours and embracement. Even like on The Voice last year, you had yourself and Duncan and Tori and Brad, and it really had a focus on it and so on. But then you walk out and, you're not a pop country artist. You've got this gravelly, soulful voice, which just, I was watching some of the footage. I found that footage on a Russian website of all places. And
shout out to our friends in Russia.
Shout out to the friends in Russia for sure. So, but have you found that then there's this other family within the music industry? It seems to me, I've spoken to Brad about it and Duncan and Ruben, the Voice family was quite tight, but also then the support that you would have received by walking out, because it takes a lot of courage to do that too. I'd love to be able to do what you guys do. If you wouldn't need a couple of lagers, you'd need a bit of Novocaine if I started to sing, but, did you find that support then came from within the industry as well?
Yeah, 100%. And I guess that's what sort of kept me back from pursuing music earlier, was I didn't feel I was good enough, because I'm I mean, I can hold a tune and I can play my chords, but I'm just a chord strummer. I strum my 3 or 4 chords, and as you said earlier about my vocal, I think that's what people find unique about my performance is that gravel, that sort of delivery. I don't know where it comes from. Maybe a misspent youth, but it is. It's been fantastic. And what I found was that once I pulled the trigger and started playing, everyone in the musical industry is just so supportive. And coming from a, I guess, competitive sports background, I thought it would be the opposite. Like everyone would be competing and pushing each other down and trying to get to that next level. And it's really quite the opposite. Everyone is so encouraging. So, and I always encourage anyone out there, if you've got, a musical bone in your body or something that's in you that you want to pursue, just get along to those open mics, build the relationships and see where it goes, because that's really all I've done at them. It's just go to a few open mics and I'll just let the pathway naturally unfold. And
Yeah.
I feel very blessed, that's for sure. Tremendous songwriter Bill Rogers, spelt the same, no relation, but we are brothers, and we're crafting some songs at the moment. And we're in the studio with Louis Shelton, who's a huge name. He's a monster in the music industry, and he played with the likes of oh, you name it, like Lionel Richie, Whitney Houston, Art and Garfunkel. So, be in his studio, surrounded by literally gold records on the wall, I pinch myself. I go, wow, but I'm very grateful. That's just.
And the other thing we found is still focus on that voice performance. The song choice was really interesting because Old Town Road, you got up there and you sung it with your own raw vocals and a great band behind you. But if you actually know the story of how the song was recorded with Lil Nas and Billy Ray, there's layers and layers and layers and layers and layers of production. You come out and you see Guy go, oh my God, or Leanne, or Adam. I was watching Adam Lambert's responses, particularly, who's with Queen, one of the biggest bands in the world, and he was like, oh, and I think they respected the fact that you're out there and able to lend your own tone, your own pitch, and your own interpretation to it. But then your intensity, is that something which you think your interpretation, not just of Old Town Road, but of your own music, comes from being on the road, from being a family man to having all these different pathways in life that have led you to here?
Yeah, I don't really know where it comes from. I know that when I perform, it's like, I can't explain it. It's like I'm a different person up there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's all about, when I perform, I always say to the band, it's not about us, it's about them. It's about us. If people are paying money to come see us, then we want to put a show on, And I want it to be visceral. I don't want my music to be like a pretty noise, you know what I mean? I want to touch people at a soul level.
Yeah.
And I just try and, I guess, put that into my performance, and I don't know where it comes from. I used to question it, and I don't anymore. I just go out and just do what I do and just be me. And if people are tapping their feet and having a good time, that's enough. That's a big reward in itself,
Some of the feedback you've gotten, you did 100 gigs last year. You've made some connections with some fans and some venues and the general population. What's some of the key things that you've been told about your performance, or have you had that connection start to build?
I mean, more than on more than one occasion, I've on probably 5 or 6 different occasions, I've sung a song and moved someone in the audience literally to tears, and I can see it happening from the stage, and it just, to me, that's the biggest compliment, to be able to touch somebody emotionally like that when I'm 15, 20 feet away performing a song. So that's a bit of the feedback I get is that, people feel our music, not just hear it. And
especially when it's your own song, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got a number of songs in production at the moment. So they're about to drop in the coming weeks. So February 16, which will be actually pretty much a week before we get to the Brass Monkey, where we're dropping a real special song that was written in Tamworth, and it was about we had a lady at a gig in late August had a cardiac arrest, and I had to perform CPR, and we saved her, and we've written a song about it, and it's a real special song, and that's going to be dropping sometime, mid to late February.
Yeah.
So we're excited for that.
So let's talk about that. We've got a single coming out February 18. What's the plan for the rest of 2025? Singles, album, more touring, or all of the above?
Oh, pretty much all of the above. I mean, we've got a back cab. We've probably got about, 7 or 8 songs, so at least a really solid EP ready to go. So we're just going to pull the trigger on this first one and then just, I'll try not to plan too much of it, Adam. I just sort of, because I haven't planned any of it. So I just walk it out and, que sera, sera, whatever will be. But, we're excited for where these songs could go, and how many people they could touch because, there's some real special songs that are coming soon.
What have you found the challenges? I mean, I talk to a lot of musicians all the time, and we talk about how, you can leave a full-time job to become a musician, but all of a sudden being a musician can be 2 or 3 full-time jobs, touring, recording, writing, social media, day-to-day stuff, working with you got your great sponsors there, Ring and West, and working with your sponsors.
Yeah.
How have you found that transition, I suppose? Because it is a lot of work, isn't it? People think, musicians are fantastic thing. You get on the bus and you turn up and you have a few beers, and it's far from that, isn't it? It's a real grind.
Is far from that. I liken it to having it's like a small business and a small to medium sized business on the side. And we're at the stage where hopefully in the coming weeks and months we're going to be considering managing, because it's such a toll. I mean, you're not only the performer, you're the booking agent, you're the accounts department, you're the marketing department, then you've got to factor in all your travel. And I mean, I've got so much respect for musicians. I mean, it doesn't just happen, musicians, they practice their craft literally for decades. They carry tens of thousands of dollars worth of equipment around. And it really is a privilege and an honor to be a part of that art form, you know what I mean? And it is an art, and I've got tremendous respect for all my brothers and sisters in the industry, because, it's also ultra competitive, So I guess you got to find that differentiator, that what stands you apart, because there's so many talented artists in the world. It's incredible.
But it's funny you say that, ultra competitive. I've been working in country music for quite a while, and I put a post together, a few posts at Christmas saying, "Hey guys, we're doing better, but we can do better collectively. This shouldn't be a competition. It shouldn't be little cliques. It should be the concept I have in my office is when the tide rises, all the boats should rise at the same time." And that's what it is. And it must be frustrating to hear. I hear exactly what you're saying when you say it is a competition sometimes. But if we can collaboration is fantastic.
I just meant competitive as in the amount of artists out there. I still do find the general support of my fellow, musical fraternity quite supportive. You know what I mean? Like
it's a family.
It is. It really is. So, like I said earlier, mate, if anyone out there's, got the wish, and it's not only music, anything, if you want to climb that mountain, go and climb it. If you want to, do the things that you want to do, because, my musical, I guess, abilities and that laid dormant for like decades. I didn't actually know it was something to pursue until I was, 49 years of age. And who would have thought, within a couple of years that, I'm here doing a podcast with your good self. We're about to tour in the state. We're in the studio doing recordings. We're, and we're going to have a great homecoming show. That's for sure.
The homecoming show, Saturday, February 22nd. Tickets are now on sale. Tickets are moving pretty quick, so do not muck around. We're going to post this. We're going to share this. We're going to get as many bums on seats as possible. Not just Cronulla supporters. We want Don Rogers supporters. Okay, we want to come down. People who love music. This is a guy who was a colleague told him on a trading site, you should be doing this thing. So
who would have thought?
Is that person who told you that, mate? Are they on the payroll now? Are they?
Mate, he's a dear friend. His name's Camo, and every time I play a show and he's there, I always say, "Camo, stand up." And I say, everyone, if it wasn't for that man's word of encouragement 2 years ago, I would never have stepped on the stage, and that's really testament to the power of a single word of encouragement. Yeah. So, be that person for others, as I say. Like, I'll just say, I never want to tell anyone they can't do anything. I'm like, if you've got one leg and you want to climb Mount Everest, why can't you? It'll take you twice as long, but you'll get there.
Very true. So. It's still beautiful and as amazing at the summit as would be with one or two legs. So So thank you so much for your time. Last question before I let you go, and I appreciate your time today.
Yeah.
Same question we ask everyone. You walk on stage. What's it feel like to be Don Rogers at that moment when you walk on stage?
Mate, you know what? I liken it, Adam, exactly to, and being sort of grown up in the rugby league fraternity and played a little bit of lower grades NRL and whatever. I liken it to the feeling right before a big game. It's that mixture of, excitement. There's a little bit of fear. There's a little bit of doubt. There's like, but then once I'm halfway through the first song, I'm in the song and we are the song and we're making that sound, then I just let it unfold. And yeah, what's it like? It's almost spiritual, I'd say. It's like a spiritual sort of experience, and yeah, it's something I don't take for granted. Something that I'm very, very appreciative of, and grateful for.
Thanks. Well, that's fantastic. Spiritual, grateful, perfect answers. It shows we're in for the long haul. And mate, we're all going to get to share that experience with you. As we said, the Brass Monkey down in Cronulla, Saturday, 22nd of February. Tickets now on sale. We're going to put the links in the show notes for today. But
Yeah,
Don Rogers, congratulations. It's been an amazing year. It's a journey to watch, and we're fortunate enough to share it with you. And we can't wait to share it with you and your band and a few special guests, and right down the heart of the Shire in a few weeks' time. Thanks so much for your time.
absolutely.
We'll see you down there.
Anyone that wants to come along and you want to wear the Ringers Western gear, make sure you go to ringerswestern.com, put in Don20, you'll get 20% off. Wear the gear, come along, grab your tickets, and yeah, we're real excited to come home. So looking forward to seeing us.
Well, good, Jamie. We'll see you there. Have a great day.
Thanks, Adam.